Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast.
Also, welcome to 2022.
Welcome to 2022. A little bit of a hiatus here while we got, just all of our Christmas things out of... I don't know. I have nothing to say here.
Did anything big happen over the hiatus?
I had COVID.
Mark had COVID.
I might have had COVID and got engaged.
Cameron got engaged. So you guys both...
that's a big one.
Guys, you guys both did something you hope you only do once.
So what have you been doing?
You hope you only get COVID once.
That's right.
You hope you only get engaged once.
So what have you been doing, Jordan?
Nothing. I'm surprised I made it. I'm like, I don't know if I got the podcast in me in 2022, but I'm here.
Well, funny enough, we released The Faculty that was recorded in 2021, but this is our first fresh movie.
Yeah, you may notice that as we intro, it's like Halloween's around the corner, but we had it in the cans and we hope you enjoyed it.
We're doing our first movie of 2022 with the 1993 movie, Cool Runnings. After failing to qualify for the Summer Olympics, 4 Jamaicans formed the country's first ever bobsled team to compete in the 1988 Winter Olympics. They enlist the help of a disgraced former Olympian to reluctantly coach them. However, when they reach Canada, they're treated as outsiders by the other teams.
From the guy who brought you both National Treasure movies, The Kid and While You Were Sleeping, John Turteltaub.
Aye, Turteltaub.
Turteltaub.
Inspired by the true story of the first Jamaican Olympic bobsled team.
So this is an inspirational story that we are going to find out in the later category is a complete downright lie. They faced no struggle. They were beloved by all.
Like any good based on true events, it's mainly all fiction. But hey, what's better than the truth? Lies. They're like, hey, this works. Let's do it again and again and again. The feel-good sports movie.
One dream, 4 Jamaicans, 20 below. Disney wasn't quite ready to deal with the racial tensions of Remember the Titans, so instead they leaned solely on skill-based hatred of a sport.
Feel the rhythm.
Feel the rhyme.
Get on up.
It's bobsled time. Cool Runnings. All right, moving on to cast and crew. Mentioned it in the trailer, but this movie is directed by John Turteltaub. Fun name, we've said it before.
Has come up before, yes.
Yeah, go back and listen to our National Treasure movie.
We haven't done the second one yet, right?
No, but
Look forward to that next fall.
And look forward to the fourth one coming out sometime?
I think
is
so.
that right? Is that rumored?
I believe so.
He exec produced on Rocket Man, but he's only done a couple other movies that I know. Directed The Kid. Is that Bruce Willis?
Sure is. So Disney guy.
Kid.
He's a Disney guy. I've not
Little
seen it, but I know it
bastard.
is. Yeah.
I do love Rocket Man with, I forget the comedian's name, but from
I
Half
think it turns out he's dead the whole time or something like that.
Wait,
I haven't
what?
seen The Kid.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
man. That's, sorry.
Oh, I was like, really? I didn't get that vibe from Rocket Man.
No, I was talking The Kid. I was making an M. Night Shyamalan joke.
And then While You Were Sleeping. I haven't seen that. You guys seen While You Were Sleeping?
Yeah, our mom's
yeah.
favorite movie.
Okay.
Sure, we've
really?
seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Denise.
Yeah. I think I've seen it as recently as 3 months
I was
ago.
about to say, I think it's been
Well, then
recent
she's
watch.
familiar with the Turteltaub.
Yeah. She may not be familiar that it was Turteltaub, though.
It's true.
No one is. Music is by Hans Zimmer. That was a fun little snippet to find out. He's done everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's one of the big three. If it
Gladiator.
isn't John Williams or, who does Tim Burton's...
Oh, yeah.
Danny Elfman.
if it's not
Elfman.
John
Yeah, right.
John Williams or Danny Elfman, this is your guy.
But again, I'll bring this up. This is retread on things. It's fun to get people that become legends early on in their career.
True.
Like, you got to start somewhere. He started here, and then he's like, I'll do every other thing that those two guys don't do.
True.
So I kind of made fun of the fact that we don't really know who these actors are, but I will go through them. They are in some stuff. So
TV, I think, after this for a little bit, yeah.
Darius Bannock is played by, in IMDb, it just says Leon. No last name, just Leon.
Right on. Let us know.
He's still acting in TV to this day. A lot of recent stuff. He was in Get Rich or Die Trying, is what I recognized, or a title I recognized reading through. Sanka Coffee is played by Dougie Doug. Eight-Legged Freaks. He's does a voice in Shark Tale, a voice in Little Bill.
Okay.
And he's in That Darn Cat.
Nice. Disney, another Disney thing.
Disney guy. Junior is played by Rawle D. Lewis. And he wasn't in much. It looks like an episode of the new Mexico Narcos.
Oh, that was good. I just never got
Just
too
one
into
episode, so it wasn't like he's a recurring thing.
I would 100% watch that if it came out 6 years before when there wasn't a million things to watch, and
I
missed it.
Just from people who've seen it that the Colombian one is better.
That's
like the
Yeah,
first one.
100%. That's the one I caught.
Yeah.
'Cause that one's more
Colombian. Yeah.
Is that
Narco.
Pablo Escobar?
Pablo Escobar
Yeah.
is my guess
Yeah,
directly.
Yul Brenner is played by Malik Yoba. Sorry, Malik Yoba. He's still acting in TV. He was in a bunch of
I was about to
Empire.
say, he looks familiar, like he's still doing TV stuff.
This was his opening gig. Was Cool Runnings.
I get the vibe that he's probably been in a lot of detective and cop
Yeah.
shows, one-off episodes.
Kurt Hembill, the kind of like the evil U.S. guy that's kind of holding John Candy and the team back, is played by Raymond J. Barry. He's still acting. He was in Walk. He's the dad in Walk Hard. He's a really familiar face.
Yeah, I really tried to figure out where he was from. I mean, I looked at his
Flubber.
IMDb.
He's in Flubber.
I did see that. Megan's like,
How does it all
I don't
keep
understand
coming
how it
up?
keeps happening, but it makes me giddy every time I see it.
I don't remember that movie at all.
I've got that one so wildly mixed with Dr. Dolittle. I don't know where Flubber
I
begins
get
and
it.
Dr. Dolittle ends.
And then,
But it turns out I'm probably just thinking of Dr. Dolittle.
Probably a lot of it.
well, one is a green ball of slime, and then the rest are the other one is animals.
Yeah, I know the difference. Dr. Dolittle is all about green slime, right?
Yep, that's it.
Right.
All right, you got it.
Last but not least, John Candy plays Irv Blitzer.
In his final role.
Came up during our Christmas time for
not his
Home
final
Alone.
role, but close to. It's like his second to last or third to last.
He did film something after this that he didn't finish filming.
Oh, but they put it on.
I think this was his last full.
like movie.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that
His
in
last big
verified.
role.
Well, no, like his last completed filming thing, because he was filming something after this, but it
Even though
posthumously
he's
came out.
Canadian born, we can say American sweetheart. John
Funny
Candy.
enough, the last one it says is Canadian bacon.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Hmm.
that's like a Goes West type Oregon Trail-y one.
Sheriff Bud Boomer, so it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I might be confusing that with.
Oh, there's also Wagons East.
Maybe I'm thinking of that one. Also, wasn't Chris Farley one of his last ones kind of a Go West movie? Maybe I'm just thinking of him.
Maybe.
We just did him in Home Alone. That's why he's kind of fresh in my mind.
Someday we will
Spaceballs.
do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but
It's our only Thanksgiving movie, but I guess what we
gotta save it.
We get a little tight around Thanksgiving.
And that's all I have for cast.
yeah, it's
so,
pretty tight. I mean, we don't know most of them other than John Candy, so it's kind of a breeze to go through. If there's anything cool out there that we missed, make sure you hit us up on the movie poster. But let's move on to Unverified. Welcome to Unverified, and welcome to Cult Classics Podcast Movie Phone. The year is 1993. It's October 1st, and currently in theaters, you also could have seen Rudy. I think this is straight to VHS, but Double Double, Toil and Trouble, the Mary-Kate and Ashley Simpson movie. That I don't know if those went to theaters.
Yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wow.
Mr. Nanny with Hulk. I don't remember that, but I do remember the poster of him hanging upside down.
I think I got it.
Beverly Hillbillies movie. Gettysburg.
Ooh, good movie that I'm sure I've seen once.
And Demolition Man.
This is one of those movies you see like the movie cart come into the classroom and you're like, oh, fuck yeah. We're watching.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
take half a year. We're gonna watch it 20 minutes at a time for half a year. 1, 2, 3 on the count of 3. Favorite Silvermore movie. 1, 2, 3. Glory. Okay, let's go. Let's keep it moving.
It's like, oh, fuck, I can't think.
And finally, Demolition Man, which I thought was an 80s movie, but apparently it's 93.
See, I'd go see Cool Runnings and then I'd skip across my popcorn. Granted, I was 2 at the time. I'd go see Rudy. And
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah, there were some other titles in here I didn't recognize.
Great release date for this movie, October 1st. Just perfect. Not the holiday rush. Could have been a summertime movie, sure, but I like the October 1st release date.
I just have to get this out of the way because we did talk about it, but contrary to the story of the movie, the Jamaican team was met with open arms internationally by the bobsledding community, and other teams went as far as to lend them backup equipment to help them train and get along. So it's a complete lie. Everybody loved the fact that Jamaica was getting in on the bobsled world. They created drama.
It's fabricated story for us, and I'm okay with it because fuck it, I like it.
Yeah.
They weren't Jamaican sprinters. They were recruited from the Jamaican army.
Oh,
really?
Essentially, what happened was they tried to go sprinters first, and no, we're not going to do that. We're going to try to be sprinters. And they're like, well, we got to get it there somehow, right? And then they're like, get people from the army. And then the guy that was on the team's like, I was in the army. My colonel came to me and said, you're going to do bobsledding. And he goes, because you're in the army, you do what you're told. And that's it.
Well, it worked out great for him, though.
The little boy who's racing with Sanka is actually supposed to be Usain Bolt. I'm actually kidding. That's not true. That's not true.
Okay,
I
I'm
made
like-
that up.
I'm like 1993 if he was 10. No, it just doesn't add. I mean,
Numbers
You
don't add up.
didn't happen to get the numbers for this one because I do have at the time it was the highest grossing
Oh, yeah.
live
Yeah.
action for Walt
Disney. What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, for live action, that's up there. I mean, it was a big hit at the time.
guess I'm
box
trying to think-
office, $154 million. 154.9 budget. I don't have on.
I'm trying to think of
but-
other live action Disney
Tom and
like kind of
Huck,
before
Huck
that.
Finn.
Well,
Well,
if you remember one of our earlier ones, this was the time they spun off to a different.
Their break-off companies.
And they were trying to get into live action. Prior to that, it was mainly kids movies, and this is kind of that.
Arachnophobia, if you go back on the Snore episode, that was actually
Yeah.
a Disney company movie, just under a different.
But I
production
think this
company.
one is Disney proper. But I can't think of many films during that time that weren't straight kids family movies. You know what I mean?
I do have the actual timeline here. This was the final John Candy film to be released before he died of the heart attack. So
There you go. So he had stuff in the can, and they re-released.
then filming Wagons East 1994, which was released posthumously.
Some more on the Disney stuff. Disney really wanted it to be sort of like that over-the-top Sebastian the Crab Jamaican accent, so Turteltaub had to kind of agree with
I
that.
wouldn't say they toned it down for sure.
No.
So this is completely unverified because I may get all the things I'm about to say wrong. But you ever watch those videos of like a CIA director tells you how these scenes are in a movie for like Vanity Fair or whatever? Well, I watched Shaggy, R&B singer/rapper Shaggy, critique Jamaican accents in movies, and this one didn't fare too well. None of them
Really?
did. Yeah, he's like, none of these. He's like, I like the movie, but this is pretty bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's unverified to the fact where everything I said could have been wrong. Let somebody critique Jamaican accents for Vanity Fair or something like that.
Another lie, just for story's sake, in the sport of bobsledding, adding weight is perfectly legal, and it's a safety measure, in fact, to make sure the weight distribution is like accurate. And
There must be a cutoff though where it's cheating.
It does say here there's a minimum and maximum.
Yeah,
it's
race
perfectly able. You're perfectly legal to add weight to make up differences.
But like if you got a skinny guy or a couple skinny guys, like you can add weight, so it's like there's kind of, it seems like weight classes, or like it's got to be in sort of this window.
I mean, that makes sense.
That was something I learned. That was a good little tidbit to
So
know.
this one's a little fun. Obviously, we're doing this movie and a couple more. Maybe we'll tease them later because the Winter Olympics are starting.
Oh yeah,
But-
we didn't really say that. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, you were doing.
And we love the movie.
Sorry
but
about that. There really are symbols I bumped into. What a jeez. Yeah, we're doing it because the Winter Olympics are coming up, and stay tuned. Maybe we'll tease them in this episode, maybe later. But this is the first year though the Jamaican bobsled team has qualified in 24 years though.
Oh shit!
In
So,
real life, so
welcome
that's
back,
fun.
Jamaica.
wow,
Yeah, so it's kind of it's fun. We did it.
40.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
that.
I'm definitely gonna tune in now.
I care more about that than any U.S. Olympic team, right?
I think a lot of us aren't going over there.
No, I don't think so. I heard NBC.
I think you have to quarantine or something for like literally in like a hotel room for like 21 days or something before you can even like exist at the Olympics.
Yeah, it seems a
Which
little
is
hard for
crazy.
my
And
scheduling.
then that would cost you $14,000.
Yeah.
Like, how could you even afford that?
This is just kind of fun. 42 minutes into the film, while they're going down the track, one of the sound effects around the turn is just a TIE fighter.
I missed it, but I was looking out for it.
I read it afterwards, so I didn't pay attention. But
Oh, like the nighttime qualifying stuff?
maybe it didn't stand out to me ever. But
See, that was
we're-
in slow motion, and I thought I was going to hear it there, but I didn't, and maybe it was just.
Okay, it's not the ta 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 ta, but it kind of
Oh.
is.
I guess.
Okay, I love these. Do you guys want to know the alternate titles in different countries?
More than anything. You're saying this is their adaptation, or they just
This is
have
like what's on the movie poster in
Yeah, yeah.
Germany.
Like this
Okay,
is what they
gotcha.
renamed it. So in Norway, Cool Runnings is known as Cold Buttocks.
Come on.
And this one makes more sense because it's the name of like the boxcar, but it's known as Rasta Rocket in France.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Maybe
that would-
more racist, but fun.
It was the name of his boxcar. It's actually like on his thing, so they should have just kept that instead of.
I believe
Cool
in
Runnings.
Switzerland it was called a bunch of nobodies. Don't got time for them.
They should have called it Tallulah.
Tallulah. I love that break. It was like, it's a great name. It's a good name.
Tallulah.
I just watched a movie last night where Tallulah came up, so it's weird to have it happen to me in 2 days.
It actually was originally supposed to be called Blue MAGA and was supposed to be a serious film.
Oh yeah, I read that. It wasn't a comedy. It was just a serious sports drama.
And I think
but-
that was with a different director too, and some stuff got
I
switched
mean, I'll
around.
talk about it, but I could see a world where this could be way
More dramatic, yeah.
A way more dramatic
totally.
movie and played different. Still good, but I think we all
Like an
enjoy it.
Invictus type of.
We know what
could
happens.
definitely
It's
be.
called Miracle, and it's called Remember the Titans. They found that formula in a couple of years.
Yeah, but I thought this a lot during recasting. I'm like, well, if these people were in it, it really elevates it to quite a bit better. But anyway, we'll get to that. Or I'm never going to get to it. I bring it up, but that's it. That's one of my thoughts. It could be more dramatic.
Starts
We're
and
never
ends.
going. That's the end of this conversation for me.
Hey, there's some real father-son stuff in there.
The cast held a mini protest over a scene where they were going to put a spliff in a snowman's mouth. So they didn't. They wanted to kind of take it. They didn't want to be like total over the top, stereotypical like.
There's only
Rasta
one
father.
thing.
It's a kids movie.
Well, there is
Can't have
the
a
one scene
split.
where he's like, Sanka, what you smoking? He's like, I'm not smoking, I'm breathing.
Yeah, they
On
didn't
top
lean
of that,
into it.
he was supposed to have a sex scene. Sanka. They took
Why?
that out.
I was definitely with that cowpoke girl that he was at the line dance with.
Turteltaub put his foot down. His
I'm
little
fine with
turtle
all
foot
these
down.
scenes, but what's this movie rated? Like less than G?
I don't know.
They say ass in it. I know
Did you
that.
swear a badass mother?
But they don't say. Yeah, they
Bullshit. They
swear
say
a couple
They say a few
times.
things in there.
and the Germans are mean. Like the
Swiss.
East Germans. No, the Swiss are fine. They're not on anybody's radars. It's that East German guy.
Ah, you're right.
He's not even a real competitor.
Oh,
You're not even on a team. I'm just a big
Just
fan
a
of the
super
sport.
fan. I love the sport, and you guys don't belong here.
except for the close-up shots at the end during the crash scene. The whole crash scene was actual footage of the.
Oh, so
bobsled
I did
crash.
look into like the truth behind the actual Jamaicans that competed. So they really did flip over and crash. They obviously didn't carry their sled on their shoulders, but they did walk it the rest of the way because everybody that crashes walks it the rest of the way because it's the easiest way.
So you have to get it off the track.
Slow clap was neither confirmed or denied, but I do think people applauded for them more the fact that, hey, you didn't break your necks.
Yeah.
Way to go.
You guys
type of
left.
thing.
Oh, a little more on the crash. It was not due to a mechanical error, but more
User error.
or less losing control of the sled at such high speed.
That seems about right.
They really did their second run.
Just idiots.
Their second run, I think they got to about 7th place and put them into contention. Like, could not, and then they didn't. But, we remember them now because someone made a movie about them, sort of.
It would be interesting if anyone knows out there some more of the actual facts just to kind of compare to this story. Hit us up on the movie posters on social media. We are a little curious to know.
You can all just Google it and not let anybody know and just learn it for yourself.
But I won't. But I will read your comments. So save me the trouble.
That's true.
Have we done many movies that are like
Based on true story?
Sort of based on true
Not
stories.
really. I can't think of anything.
Remember the
Spaceballs.
Titans? It's pretty fictitious.
Yeah, I guess it's just been Disney sports things so far.
Armageddon.
Because what
Armageddon.
what movie? Most of the movies that are based on true events
Yeah.
are sports / war-ish movies.
Rookie of the year. Yeah,
So
not
it's
really.
interesting to have those overlapping facts, which are like there is truth out there, and then there's
Well, there was just so much lying on this one that we didn't have a lot of those facts, though. That's why I'm kind of curious. But hit us up. Until then, we're going to move on. Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, let's move on.
We're going to move on to questions.
comments.
Animosities.
Welcome to Question, Comment, Animosity. I got an animosity to break it off, and it is Derice's training in the beginning. 1, really uneven ground. Number 2, he has quite the elaborate setup to just run away from all those kids that helped him set that up. And number 2, why is he doing so much long-distance running training for all of his sprinting? Seems like he was unprepared for the Olympics, and he would have done terrible if he would have gotten through anyway.
Yeah, it turns out like the 400 and 800 meter are still about to qualify. Might as well do that, Derice.
Yeah.
Here's a big concern.
They may have said that was the last event of the day.
I
but
think they didn't think they're like, and the big one, like
Well-
we've all been waiting for.
Well, okay, there's a lot of concerns.
wouldn't
What
you-
100 runner isn't a
At
200
least,
runner?
in something else.
And then here's the biggest one. If he's like,
True.
if he's the country's favorite,
Why wouldn't they just
Well,
help?
no, they can't give it to him, but they can put him on the 4x100 team if they qualify. You don't have to qualify as an individual for that. They can just take you.
True.
So
Yeah,
that's
they could
annoying. But do you want to hear the biggest one? And I'm only doing this to nitpick because this is just a family-friendly, feel-good movie that's all lies, and I love it. We all love it, right? So
They told you. We all told you.
we all told you. But no, here's the biggest thing. Have you ever seen somebody trip running a 100?
No.
No, it's not possible. If it was a
Junior
hurdle,
really screwed the pooch
fucked
here.
everybody. But do you want to hear who I'm going to blame? Derice, how'd you get tripped? You were already halfway done with the race. Shouldn't you have been well in the lead by then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was ahead of him. It actually doesn't make sense at all that he would have been able to have been tripped by him.
Yeah.
I will say Junior flailed his arms like a fucking.
Oh yeah, it seemed a little
Baby
intentional,
deer.
right?
He's a cake eater. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect out of him?
The only one who really looks like a 100-meter sprinter is
Yul Brynner.
Yul.
Yeah, he's the only one that looks like an
100%.
athlete. Kind
Like slapping his head. That's something they would do.
For sure. Reese looks like an 800/400 runner because he's like lankier and taller. He
Yeah, that
doesn't
makes
look like
sense.
a
That makes sense. At least his training, but whatever.
I want to keep still right on the qualifying here because you're going to hear my thought process as I kind of read my note here. I was confused on the timeline. Irv says that the Olympics are 3 months away.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't be that there's.
That much jumping than the Winter Olympics.
Why are we just qualifying for the Summer Olympics if it's 3 months away?
Oh no, that happens. Qualifying's pretty like.
Okay.
If I think I don't know what it was like back then, but say now, you can qualify like the 4 years up to the Olympics. But if you're like in a country or a person that doesn't do a lot of international events, you can qualify up to like 2 weeks before the Olympics if you get the time right.
I said that wrong. Irv, the bobsled coach, John Candy, said the Winter Olympics are 3 months away.
Oh yeah, that should be way up. It should be 2 years.
Yeah, I looked it up. So Calgary Olympics were in 1998, and I was like, doesn't that mean the Summer Olympics wouldn't be until 90? No. It turns out the Summer and Winter Olympics were held on the same year up until like 1992.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're ignorant.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
okay.
ignorant.
I had to look it up. I'm like, the timeline doesn't make sense.
Thanks for looking that up.
So
I feel a fool.
Seoul Summer Olympics and the Calgary Winter Olympics were both held in 1988.
I just want to say, behalf of the Cold Classics podcast, Cameron and myself, speaking on behalf of Mark, that's the best research we've ever done.
True.
I had to look it up. I was like, that doesn't seem right.
And this also now clarifies some timeline questions I had of like, how long are they actually training for?
So because of COVID, we're in a weird time where the Winter and Summer Olympics practically happen at the same year. I think it's better. Go back to that.
Yeah.
I think it's way better.
I think I was reading a little further to it. It was like fiscally just tough for like
That would make
just the
sense.
Olympics in general to keep like doing it every
Guys,
4 years.
we need to launder so much money. Don't make us do it all at this time. They're nothing but dirty, the IOC. We all know that. But
just back to the beginning of the movie, just a fun comment. Because of the push car scene, I remember that Christmas I got my remember that shitty little pedal card I got?
You got a little pedal card. Yeah.
It wasn't the cool electronic kind. It was just like a straight up, pedal, but it was
you
pretty
got a little
cool.
Frankie Muniz soapbox.
It was actually black. It
Yes,
kind of
we
looked
did.
like the bobsled. It was
I've
like
seen the movie.
It was pretty nice. Yeah, we were one step away from Flintstone's car, though.
well, you could put your foot down and just walk if it helped.
That's true. It was an open bottom.
We also lived out in the country with a lot of gravel, though, so like I could only go in the kitchen, like back and like there wasn't a lot of area for me to go.
If you want to be a real daredevil, you had that hill in the back that I feel like you could have.
Oh yeah, you could have done that.
The wheels were so small, like it was hard to get anything other than
Pretty
like
plasticky,
kitchen
though.
floor.
And once you take your feet off the pedals,
yeah.
like those things are just like
Dangerous.
That's
There's
like
a
Yeah, you're at
blender in
shin.
there.
They're connected with wires. Don't get your shin in there.
It was good.
Push karting looks fun
yeah.
as hell, though. I'll say that it's a fun little sport.
Oh, I did forget this. There is some truth to that. Rather than anybody that was an old Olympian that was disgraced by the sport, two businessmen were doing business in Jamaica and they saw a push cart and they're like, we could probably get some sprinters to do this and bobsled, but then no sprinters wanted to do it. So there's some truth to that. They saw the push cart sport.
I
While
also
doing
read
business.
that Dougie Doug invested in the pushcart scene in Jamaica after this movie just because of his role.
Nothing but regrets.
When I said Dougie Doug, it was kind of like is it like Dougie Doug? It's like Chuck E. Cheese. It's Doug E. Doug. And I just wanted to Doug Entertainment.
Doug Entertainment. Just for the record, Charles
Entertainment Cheese.
Gotcha.
And just also off of that, the actor who plays Sanka, as of 2015, still has his lucky egg. It's made of rubber.
Oh, I have a huge
Good for
question
him.
about that. In the movie, and I didn't ask Megan because I didn't want to spoil my reaction. Is it a real egg?
No.
He just said it was rubber.
Well,
No, to the character.
It's supposed to be, yes.
Is he
yes.
saying this whole time he's carrying a crackable normal egg with a yolk in
That's
it?
what I understood it to be.
And do you know what I noticed?
Then I have to call that's my biggest animosity of any movie we've seen.
There's no way it didn't crack, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they crashed. They crashed. They're going 80 miles per hour and they crashed.
Well, actually, just on a funny thing I noticed off of that, too. Like, at the end of this, when he takes the lucky egg out, he is totally unzipping and taking that from somewhere around his junk.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
in his
pockets
groin
on
for
that.
sure.
You want to kiss my egg?
No, man.
man.
You tuck that
My
between your
lucky
wiener and your
wiggle?
balls. No.
Okay, so then with that knowledge, new knowledge to me, that's egregious. Out of all the lies of this movie, that egg would crack a million times.
I think he actually also had a quote, Dougie Doug, saying,
Hard-boiled.
the bobsled was real.
Oh.
The egg was rubber.
Tagline for the movie. Okay, I do have some questions. As long as we're nitpicking, and that's essentially what this category is. I'm actually very mad at the Olympic Committee of Jamaica. One, your three-breast sprinters, or at least one of your number one sprinter, and then a few got screwed. Back them for the Winter Olympics. Yeah. They're legit people. Like, they're not going to embarrass you. And then he's mad up until they qualify for the Olympics, and they're like,
he's like, no, I'm here. We've got a team in the Olympics.
Yeah,
like,
fuck you, dude, bro.
Well, I also he's like, I will not embarrass our Olympic committee. He's like, that's why we're taking these three people that just got in by chance because you guys fell. We're going to take them on the world display.
But if you raise enough money, go ahead and embarrass us.
Oh, yeah. I never realized how rude that kissing scene is when Doris is...
yeah, he's married.
Yeah, I never really got that as a kid.
She's a school teacher.
She looked pissed.
Is Sanka married to the other friend, her friend that's like louder and angry all the time?
No, I always assumed that was like an aunt or mom or something.
Okay, I was never sure if she was supposed to be with Sanka or not.
Oh, if she was, I missed that up until now. Let us know.
Mark, your thoughts. Is Sanka with the other boisterous, loud lady?
I didn't understand that to be true, but...
I don't know why I always thought that as a kid. Let me know if you guys thought that too.
Still on the kissing booth, they have to raise $20,000 for the budget to get to Calgary. $1 a kiss. I mean, that's a lot of kisses.
Yeah,
maybe
two,
either raise the price or offer.
Well, yeah, but that was just a daytime
20
scene.
for tongue.
Yeah.
I heard that in the more dramatic storytelling of this, they were turning tricks. For more than $1.
And again, for a Disney movie, when they're like Tallulah, that sounds like a cheap prostitute's name. It's like what Sanka says. Like, oh wow, that's harsh for Disney.
It's been a while since the kissing booth though. It's just rude. I don't know.
Comment. I agree with Junior's parents. He is throwing away his future for. Track and field's one thing, but this is crazy. I agree with his father 100%.
He should have been a fucking musician or some shit like
something else to waste to disappoint his father. Yeah. Something a little more realistic.
I agree with him at the beginning. Like, no, you're not going to waste too much. I don't. No, actually, I disagree with him. Here's the biggest one. They've qualified for the Olympics. It's the elevator scene with his dad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're down here. We're fine.
This is just on behalf of their relationship.
Right. That's fair.
Why is he mad at that point? It's like, Dad, I mean, we're in the Olympics. We're at Calgary for crying out loud.
But you're not good at it.
You get there, you have an internship with my business partners, Cohen, and Webster.
Just from a financial aspect, it's kind of sad that curling hadn't reached its popularity yet. Because just from a training aspect, it probably would have been a lot easier to Jamaica have a curling team.
Well, this is a big question based off this. I think that you agree with me or disagree with me that if you are fast and athletic, I've heard of other athletes, specifically like Lolo Jones, like sprinters do just become bobsledders, so it must be if you can run fast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I think as people like us, just average people, I think we could all
be curlers.
Maybe not Olympic curlers, but that's our best chance.
But at least a fine league team.
I don't remember our curlers' name, but yeah, they look like just like a few dads. Like,
do know though? Each year they show the U.S. curling team, and they're like, and these two guys are the same that lead the team. It's always like those two guys, and one wears a hat. Maybe
it's like Dave and Phil. Like,
those guys. Yeah,
I do think though that if I had to do all that sweeping action, I'd end up with a broken face. Like leaning forward and trying to sweep and move. Like I definitely fall forward and break my face.
What was the question? What was the two sports that
boxing
and biking?
Biking doesn't seem like swimming should be in. Like it seems like they would have a lot of other opportunities.
I feel like biking, like Darius probably could have picked up.
Yeah, killed that too. It's like you better work on something easier than running.
He probably could have been a good boxer too. Kind of a boxer.
He has long arms. He has a big reach. Yeah.
But instead, he wanted.
Oh, he's saying they said they had still qualifying left. You could do.
Yeah. Okay. Apart from curling, is there an easier winter sport? Maybe granted, they have the coach. They have the access.
He was talking summers though. At that time, they weren't talking about.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking winter. Even though like there might be something easier. Yeah. I mean, I guess not. They just had to run and I guess it is custom made for him.
Cross country.
He was just training as a cross-country runner. Couldn't he do that thing where you're just on skis, cross-country skiing?
Yeah.
I don't think, and this is why I think that, I'm not trying to badmouth curling, but there's no summer sport we could do.
No.
And no average person could do any summer sport. Unless you had a natural ability to be like a shooter, like an archer.
Yeah.
You're like, I guess I'm just a protege at this at 35.
Well, the walking, I mean, that's...
Ooh, I have a long gait. I could get good at walking, maybe.
I saw a little segment during the Olympics this year. Turns out you have to have 1 foot planted at all time. And
I don't get how they judge it. Like, who's watching?
they just have judges throughout the course. But what I learned from this is everybody's cheating the moment they can.
Yeah.
We had a friend in cross country. From what I understand, as soon as you're out of sight, you throw bows, you trip, you get violent.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've heard that. Why would you?
This is a pretty big animosity. So the Jamaican bobsled team just gets there. It's during that scene where it's 20 below. They go to a coat store during the Olympic trials during a snowstorm, and it says 90% off everything out front of that store. Why would they do that?
Because you know that scene from The Simpsons where he's like, why do I have 100 nude photos of
Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg? What was I thinking? They're like, these are just too loud of colors for Calgary.
It's
like,
true.
nobody's buying. They've sat on the
These
shelf
purple
for years.
and orange coats.
Yeah. Not a people walking out there, even in 1993 in all neon.
Also, comment, like Yul Brynner, all of his outfits are just 90s as fuck, and I love it. They're just all those oranges and purples and patterns.
Yeah, now that would cost double, triple the price.
I do like the outfits, but an animosity of mine is you got to just make sure that you have some uniforms in the budget, in that $20,000 budget. You got to come look in the part, some track suits, some track jackets.
Yeah.
Like the bobsled's pretty ridiculous, but at least a uniform.
Where did the $20,000 go? Couldn't have all been travel.
He was a bookie and a bad guy, Jordan.
He's like, it'll cost us $5,000 to get there and stay, but we need $20,000.
As a bookie,
back.
do you make your own bets? Because he was just betting on what was
horses. Yeah,
like
I
horse
think that's just called a gambler.
Yeah, he's just a gambler.
Just a degenerate gambler.
I like that no one cares though in that scene. He's like,
I do have an animosity about the whole, even though it's all fictitious, but
his character was also made up.
What's his character's name?
Irv
Blitzer.
Sorry, with Irv
Wolf Blitzer.
It sounds like he should be on the Swiss team or something, or the German team.
Irv Blitzer. Here's the biggest thing: he would have a lifetime ban. He wouldn't get a coach.
That's what I was thinking too. I don't think they'd let him back.
They just wouldn't let him, especially since it sounds like 72 to 88 it was like 18 years.
Yeah, it hasn't been too long.
He would have been banned probably from the sport forever.
Yeah, you'd assume
That's
so.
why at the very end of the movie, I thought it was going to be the picture of the bobsled team, not the coach, and he was just going to put the picture over it.
I thought that too.
It was such a slow
This is a weird thought, and you're not going to remember this unless you just watch the movie like we did. I thought it was a real tasteful job of John Candy's character Irv to be in the background, but still get his face in, but let the team all be in front of him.
Yeah.
Something I saw that I'm like, I got to do that in the future. There's a way to have your face in the front, but your body in the back.
It seems
stuff.
like they would need a lot more time to be practicing this. I am still a little curious about the timeline because,
the real team did tip over and they crashed.
That is true.
Like they didn't kill
even
it.
just I have a question. It does seem like you can get essentially speed wobbles go too fast, but if I was to be dead weight and not steer or do anything, could I make it down the track safely? Because he just pushes them for their first go, and they've had no training. That seems really dangerous.
Yeah, they get all the way to Calgary, and then they start doing the heavy conditioning and weightlifting, heavy weightlifting.
Yes.
Like anything. I don't even know how. Yeah,
they just went down a hill, and he's like 5'9". You did it, 5'9".
And where'd they even get that thing in Jamaica?
What number is that? What number are they getting that from?
5'9". Mark, everyone knows to be a good bobsled team, you need in the cart before 5'9".
Oh, I do want to defend
Oh, that's right. It was in the cart. Got it.
I do want to defend the committee head of Jamaica. I'm with him where he's like, I'm not going to give you assholes $20,000.
Well,
there's no proof you've done anything.
The bookie and the bar, on the that's what you're known for.
I'm actually siding with him there. Yeah, show me that you can actually bobsled and we'll talk about it. It's like, we have to do it now or they're going to break my legs. Why do they need to do it then?
They don't.
Because
it's really only Darius that it...
Darius is I get his urgency. Do we think they were all going to make it to the Olympics?
Animosity, though, to that Olympic committee guy. Then he's like, don't worry, Darius, let it go. In 4 years, you'll have another shot. He's being a little too cavalier about that.
You do see that, though, in the Olympic trials or something. There's so much heartbreak.
Oh, yeah.
They're and everything they've been working for, they just didn't perform today.
Yep.
That shit happens all the time.
Yeah, you really have, Michael Phelps, had, 4 Olympics, 3 Olympics, and, that's all you get,
Yeah, and he's an all-time
and
great.
that's 12.
Yeah.
That's 12 fucking 14 years, whatever that is. So it says at the very end of the movie they competed again and they were accepted or whatever. They were as equals. Did Darius and all the guys just do bobsled instead of sprinting?
I can't. I mean, when you go that hard into something, you gotta switch.
Okay.
Plus, 4 years from then, they probably
weren't in their prime anymore. Yeah.
They're outside.
Now they got bobsled legs. Those nice tree trunks.
Real question is, were they all going to make it? Because obviously Derice was probably going to win, we think. Was Ewell and Junior going to make it?
He seemed pretty stupid, Ewell. He was trying to live in Buckingham Palace. So
I mean, you don't got to be smart to run fast, right?
That's true. You don't need good words.
Yeah, he may have not known a lot, but like he could run really fast, I would presume.
How many chances did they get? I was a little confused about that. Well, it's a little bit of a montage of training and then the trial, but like after they did so bad that first time, how do they even get a second chance to qualify? I just don't kind of get their qualification.
It's kind of like the Canadian ice skaters, and the French judge gave them they got the medal taken away from them. And
what?
You never heard the?
I'm sure I did at the time, but refresh my memory.
It's like a Canadian duo figure skaters that like got robbed. They clearly had the better performance, and they got like robbed of a medal, and then they got given like a gold medal essentially. But it was kind of like,
you don't want it after that.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. I
Is
can't remember
bowling an Olympic sport now?
He's still trying to think of something he can do.
Sure am.
You definitely can do
Oh, no, I'm really, really bad at bowling.
Badminton.
No.
Oh, I've actually never been great at badminton.
I'm not guys. It's curling.
I could be good at fencing. I don't know. Just because of my reach. I have long arms. That actually might be okay for me.
Yeah, but I think they're really quick and know how, know how to fence. It's curling, guys. I'm telling you, it's curling.
Okay.
For all of us, just average.
Everything you get. So this is the scene where Junior's dad's trying to get him to stop. And I know we have phones and technology, but I'd like to get a telegram once in my life before I die.
Done.
I want someone to come with a message and just
Cameron,
a piece
stop.
Yeah, I want the whole thing. I want it read to me. I don't just want the piece of paper. I want someone to be like, Mark, stop. I'm on my way right now with the blah, blah, blah.
Stop.
Bully.
I am 16, going on 17.
Hee-haw, Mark.
Hee-haw. Are you confusing what's the difference between telegraph and a telegram?
I'm thinking Sound of Music right now.
I want either or. I don't know. I just want
You need a telegraph machine, though.
Yeah, I guess I want a telegram.
That's what I want.
Whichever one has the man saying it to me.
Oh, that's a telegram.
I want someone to come on a little bike like ching, 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 ching. And then like...
They have bikes?
Yeah.
I want
a carrier system. I think that's telegram.
I'll tell you what I don't want, though. I don't want a clue like I am your singing telegram. Deserved it.
Go back and listen to our episode of
Clue. Why did I think that was the producers? But it definitely is Clue.
This is more, I know we've nitpicked, but I love Sanka's character. Plucky comic relief.
Oh, great.
Can't get enough from him. He may carry the movie. I mean, John Candy, I guess, from a theatrical, dramatic standpoint, carries the movie.
Derice. I think it's also supposed to be him.
Well, Derice's story does, but his character doesn't really have much to do except I'm the leader, right?
Right. We'll lead in this later, but it's because of Sanka, this movie, that our Mount Rushmore category is what it is when we get to it. But
see if you can guess it before we get there.
Yeah, but he was hilarious in this.
When John Candy, the funny part that I remember when he was kind of like running after they hit the 5-9 time and they crash into the police car and he's running down and he's like, move, get out of the way. And he just pushes the police officers out of the way. It's just, I don't know.
This is a really random part about that scene. When they're pushing John Candy in the Beetle.
Oh, right.
He really takes up a lot of the car.
I was thinking
the clown.
Not even just weight in this, but his head's way out of that car. How small is that car?
How tall is John Candy? I'll look it up.
Can't be that big.
I would guess. I guess it's 6'2" then, based off that.
I don't want to rush to the end here. So does anyone have anything else for the slow
Speaking of car, it kind of reminded me.
6'2".
Oh, really?
Wow. Not bad guess.
Oh, it's a big guy.
Yeah,
big guy.
Big guy.
You don't get any money for the Olympics, correct? I believe that to be true.
Other countries do. Lots of other countries
do. Is the gold medal made of gold?
Maybe.
No. A lot of other countries outside of the United States, if you win medals, you do get money. And I think everybody who wins an Olympic medal gets a small
Can someone
amount
look
of
that up about Jamaica? Do they get money? Because my whole point about this is Junior sold his damn car.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's fine.
Did he get a full 20 grand for that car?
Seemed like
it was a nice car.
It probably like 19, whatever they got from the kissing booth, and Sanka's selling weed on the
116 with Sanka singing, and I don't remember anything else.
Again, listen, I think Junior and his dad have problems, but his dad has valid points.
Agreed.
What the fuck, bro?
I got you into this law firm.
Wait, you sold that classic car that I got you for your birthday? You only got $20,000 for that car?
It's a $50,000 car, you dipshit. God damn it. But also his dad's he's an Olympian. qualifier. So he's obviously good, almost, you know. Like, why is he so hard on him? He's
Because of each word you followed up your statements with.
Well, he might have been.
Cut.
Well, he was on it. He
Potential.
could have.
He's friends with Olympians.
I'm saying he's good enough to like be in the qualifying race for the Olympics. It's not like
true.
a pipe dream at that point.
Yeah. He was at least gonna go top 3, so like he wasn't bad.
Well,
He just
I don't
wasn't
know.
Therese.
I still don't know if he's going to go top 3. I think we all can agree that Yul. And is Yul Brynner? Is there anything? The reason he's named after a
I saw
historic
Unverified.
actor of all time?
It was just
Yul Brynner, the
like
King of I. Yul Brynner, Ten
was just
Commandments.
it was a
Yul
little-
Brynner.
It was just a wink. There was nothing.
It was
but
like
a
we're
wink.
just doing it because we got to name character something.
It was it wasn't anything
all right,
specific.
all right. No
Well,
need for that.
they named him after an Olympian too. Yule something too.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I just didn't want to know if like it was common knowledge, and I'm like, all right, no, it's just.
I was going to call bullshit on this is a comment, sorry. I was going to
Mm-hmm.
call bullshit on there being a direct flight from Jamaica to Calgary. Turns out they exist. I looked it up
Oh.
today. It's like $560.
Oh, that's very today's money.
Today's money.
Oh wow, that's affordable.
What'd you
Real
find out?
Olympics, winning gold, you got like $10,000 or something.
Okay, $10,000 for gold.
I've just heard some countries it is like a good, you get
Like
paid.
payout for actually.
Here, I guess you don't, but
Well, that makes sense though because we have sponsors. We don't.
there's so many
necessarily-
sponsors. I do want to say from this, and this kind of goes along, and I'll bring it up maybe in all of our Olympic movies we do, but it's not sad, but the time where the Olympics is globally recognized and everybody watches is over. It's just not like a universal event that our country or any country or the world watches anymore. People don't care about the Olympics for a lot of
Masked
reasons.
Singer.
It is probably shit like that.
It honestly might be just like
or TikTok. It's
It
like,
honestly
you see
might
on
just be
TikTok?
America's Got Talent and all the different ones they have in different countries.
That's probably true, but it's cool with the stories that we're doing that there was a time and a place where there was a lot less to watch.
True.
So even though like there's pros and cons to the Olympics, like
I miss when like there
Yeah.
was something to care about.
yeah,
the
and
Olympics
now
wise.
nobody gives a shit. Like we may not even know a name coming out of this Winter Olympics.
And just like knowing teams, like I'm rooting for the hockey team this year. Like
Yeah.
we know they're underdogs, and just knowing that kind of stuff. I don't know anybody.
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't know
like Canada against like U.S. like hockey,
Yeah.
like in the
Nobody
2000s.
cares.
I used to know the Ham brothers. I used to know gymnast names.
Yeah, Sean Johnson.
Okay, so I got to talk about the slow clap. Number one comment: this might be the first slow clap I remember.
Is it the best snow clap?
Maybe.
it's up there. I remember. I mean, it was one
Snow
of the
clap,
things.
slow clap.
What's unique about this one too? The father starts it, right?
No, it's
the
the-
the USA guy that's kind of trying to hold him back.
Oh yeah, right. It's a USA guy, but what I like about it is the slow clap that's muffled by gloves.
By gloves,
Sure
I
is.
literally
It's
have it written
different.
down.
It's a
Mittens,
muffled slow
gloves.
clap, and I enjoy the shit out of
And
it.
it really is just. it's just perfect.
I
It
like
really
it
is.
so much.
Like, someone's like, is that a slow clap? I can't
Are we
hear
doing it? What was that? They're okay?
Take off
They're
those
okay?
gloves.
No.
No, they're not good. That's an emergency clap. The cadence is off. Get them out there. No, they're okay. They're okay. Let them go. Let them go. Great slow clap. Love it.
It really is. It's maybe the best of all time.
I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. Although,
There's only 5. I looked them up.
oh, in movies.
There's Rudy. There's one in Rudy.
Same year.
Same year.
Same year.
So that's a
Good
good.
Big year.
themes at the same time.
Maybe this isn't our Mount Rushmore, but if it was for slow claps, 1993 really shows up cinematically.
It would have been a good Mount Rushmore, but there just aren't that many. Hoosiers has one.
I can't
And you can't remember.
Just any sports movie, such as
I remember this one though. Do any of those movies? They must all end on it.
I was about to say, it's always the
I
ending.
think so. Not Another Teen Movie has one that I think ends on a slow clap.
Okay, that might be making fun of. Oddly enough, there was a slow clap at the end of my high school graduation.
Weird.
People just didn't know what to do. I think, and a slow clap started.
Yeah, they're almost like sarcastic
now?
or like kind of mean in heart. Like
But-
someone drops their lunch tray. It's like a
Yeah.
I like the pure joy of this one. It's like, are we? That guy's doing it. You know, I like it. It's
He doesn't even know he's doing it. That's why this one's so good. He's like, what are my hands doing? Oh my God, I feel so good about what's
I
happening.
feel like there's an Adam Sandler one that has a slow clap. It's probably
Let
not,
us
but-
know this. To fill us in.
Yeah,
you
your
know?
favorite slow claps out there. What else you guys got? I'm actually out of notes.
Things I miss that I really like about it. Things I check off in sports movies. Love a training montage scene.
Gotta have it.
Rise above it. Actually, memorable soundtrack for me. I knew
Yeah.
it was going to come up next. It's like It's like a playlist you made back in 1993.
I was singing along with this while my girlfriend was watching me, fiance. Funny enough, and I was like, God, this is really in my brain. Like, I really know this.
This movie's so quotable too. Like I say, like
Me and Mark
if someone
say the
doesn't
Senka
respond in a text thread, it's Senka, you dead? Like,
And
Yeah, man.
Like you would do it, I would do that everywhere. And then we've got to go on. I mean, it's got one of the all-time, whatever the fuck the feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme is.
Yeah.
Like you
mean,
can do that anytime right now.
Being in a band, a lot of people have like stupid chants and stuff. You get I think Mayday Parade does like Rufio, Bangarang kind of stuff. But
don't you guys do eins, zweins?
there was a time when we did have a Cool Runnings thing where we were like, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get it up. It's showtime. I don't know what we said. We did
It's
something stupid at the time.
I'm
though.
surprised I didn't try to do the feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up. Did we do that at the beginning of this, Bob?
yeah, we did.
Podcast time?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, well, we didn't text thread at least.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we got it in.
Imagine being like the German team and not qualifying while the Jamaicans qualify in a rusty ass sled. I wrote that down.
In our rusty ass sled too. Like, wait a minute, is that our sled?
In this movie, the Jamaicans went from 28th place to 8th place with one run. I don't get it. Just best time wins?
That's what I'm so confused about the runs. And also, like, seems like they could have averted all this catastrophe if they just would have tightened some bolts.
That's
like,
what. Yeah, you got to make sure those screws are tight. Like coat of paint's only going to do so much.
You heard the thing.
Check it out, guys.
Like when Yul Brynner,
that's them. That's on them. That's on them. I'm sorry, Jamaica.
When Yul Brynner takes out the handle and that little clink, you hear that clink like a million times with that slide of like bolts coming out.
They treated it like I treat anything I hear at my house. I'm like, it'll work. It'll fix itself out.
John Candy,
don't even worry about it.
Undrapes Tallulah, like it's like ting 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 ting.
You can
ting,
hear
ting,
the tings, yeah, everywhere.
Also,
Did you guys hear all those loose screws?
First time John Candy's been back in like 20 years. He meets that friend he hasn't seen he's the only friend being nice to him, but it's not like they're on good terms. And he's like, I need an enormous favor of tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but he had one on over him. Here's the biggest animosity that they would not recognize what the fuck he looks like.
No. Totally
looks like he put on some
bee
weight.
sting.
A bee sting, Scott.
Yeah, no shit.
Doesn't seem like the U.S. practice sled wouldn't be a death hazard. Like
That's what I mean.
That
was my whole point. It was like, why did they even like have that there?
So like, I can sell you this, but it needs about $6,000 worth of.
Or you know what? They do all hate him. Maybe they just loosened every bolt and like dropped it off.
So
for him.
I almost like had like a Mandela effect where I thought like some team tried to sabotage them and like come in and like unscrewed screws.
Weird enough, Nicole did say, don't they get sabotaged? So she remembered that too.
It's what it is now I'm remembering. It's Frankie Muniz's
the boxcar racer,
the boxcar.
Miracle
Someone puts
Lane 3 something. I don't know, 8?
This movie, I guess, because
I think they put weights in front of the car
because
Classic.
it's loosely based on true events. This movie's just like one level down of more of a kid's movie to having a villain that would do that.
True.
But it's a little more set. It's set in much more reality than
We're budgeted away from this just being a Disney made-for-TV movie, essentially.
But I do think I thought about this watching it now. You could up the drama in this a little bit, realism, and it could be a way.
Yeah, way
it could be
better.
a really great movie,
Really
especially
great.
if you're gonna lie like this and just create a story.
Yeah.
You said this earlier that it didn't happen, but there's got to be an easier way to get it to the finish line instead of doing like the pallbearer like walk.
Oh no, that didn't happen. I'm saying though, in real life, they did walk the
That's
sled
what I
the
mean,
rest of
like,
yeah.
you
Nobody's
gotta walk
That's
it.
what I would have said. I would have
It's a lot more epic.
Oh yeah,
It's a pallbearer.
great
but-
scene. Great
Impossible.
scene.
One, the blade's going to cut into your shoulder.
That's
It's got to
the
be
biggest concern.
just 1,000,000 pounds. You're just going to hear me scraping that down the track. There's just the rest of the way just.
At that point, and the pride was there. I feel pride. I feel power. That kind of shit, you know.
Right.
Good speech.
Good on you guys. But I'd be like, I'm gonna get out, and I assume
Seem
staff
medical.
will take care of this. You know, I don't really care what happens to this shitty car.
Neck really hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, in some of those scenes, they're really bent
They're
over
really
on the
getting
side.
bobbed. Yeah.
It was the 90s. They didn't care about CTE.
Well, that's true. We didn't know
they
that
got
much.
it though.
It's the 80s, actually, I guess.
Those guys got
88?
it. 88. They definitely didn't care about that. They encouraged it.
Last, I've got a MythBusters question. Do you think like if you freeze your hair enough,
It'll freeze you.
Well,
Actually, I
can
think
you
that was
break it off?
Yes, you can. I think that was actually on MythBusters.
Was it really?
Well, actually, and I've not exactly. When I would
I've
go to
got my
school
hair
in the
cold.
morning, yeah, it would freeze, and it would never crack, but I could definitely
It'd
like
get crispy.
crash the
Crackle.
ice. Yeah,
I don't know. It'd take a lot maybe for a dread though. That's pretty thick.
That's true. I don't know.
but maybe the thicker the better?
That's true.
I
Maybe
assume
it has
it.
more
I assume it
days.
could. It could.
You might be dead though, man.
Write us in if you know the answer to this.
John
We're-
Candy was asking for some hypothermia for those.
Oh yeah.
those guys.
Why are they just doing that to Sank and no one else?
I don't have quite the line readings of John Candy, but he's got some laugh out loud like.
Remember, your
reactions with-
bones will not break. No. They shatter.
Yeah,
Like
that
gets
whole
cocky. He's
thing.
like, it's not the heat that'll get you. It's the humidity.
There is I don't know what the quality I would explain because I'm bad at explaining things, which is bad to do a podcast with. But he's got it, John Candy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He's
got
it.
He just brings stuff to every role he has. There's a warmth, but I guess the thing that I like about him, and I'm not recasting him. Well, I won't compare to another actor, but they do bring for some reason, even though it's not written into all their characters, there's like a melancholy and sadness to them in some way. Obviously, this one he is a little depressed.
I get that.
I enjoy that.
Robin Williams had that too. Granted,
well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like those two have some similarities that they bring.
Well, they were good at mixing the two. We should have done more John Candy.
Actually.
Yeah, actually, now I'm thinking about that.
I do them interchangeably so often. Go back and listen to anything with any of them.
Should we just move on to recasting? You guys have anything else? Let's move on to recasting. Recasting, kind of a tight one this week.
Recasting, man. I'm sorry.
It had to happen eventually.
I'm sorry.
I only have the racers and the coach, so I mean, Mark, I think you're the only one that had some side characters.
I didn't go too far. I just did Junior's dad and the Olympic president, the Jamaican Olympic president, which are kind of the same.
There's speech cadence, like in age, like it's kind of the same actor.
So for the Olympic commish, I did Morgan Freeman.
Of course you did. That's who I would have done.
So
that's the better dramatic version.
And then for Junior's dad, I did.
He did Ian McKellen.
James Earl Jones.
Oh, jeez.
So
yeah, he's much more frightening, obviously. So I didn't have that, but just off the dome, I'm doing Joseph Markel or Marcel. Probably Joseph Marcel. What?
Let me see a picture there.
You're gonna know him as Jeffrey the butler from Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
right
that's
on.
Great. That's a great one.
Yeah,
and then I was also feeling.
These are off the Domski?
Yeah, LeVar Burton. Throw him in there.
I did think about him.
I didn't put him anywhere, but I did think about him too.
I was also thinking. I'll just wait because we have more people. Do you have anyone else before we get to the racers?
Nope.
Yul Brynner. Let's start kind of at the lower ones. Just doing on size and toughness. Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh wow! Okay.
Michael Clark Duncan. He's huge.
Yeah, I know.
I did The Rock. just get as big as you can go. Really weight down the.
I did Brock Lesnar. I know he's not black, but he's fucking huge.
He wasn't as big. Like he wasn't huge this early in the '90s. He did get huge. He was always
weight
big.
but he's like, all right. So we heard yours.
Think of him in Armageddon. He wasn't even. He's pretty big then.
He's huge in Armageddon.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. That's what I did.
I guess you're casting like Talladega Nights, Michael Clark Duncan, like a little more svelte.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark, could you have?
I've got 3 written down here. Which one do I want to go
I can go,
with?
but I need before. I'll tell you who it is, but I need somebody to help me say his name. I'm pretty sure I know how to say it.
Oh, so it's nothing that I've written down because I can pronounce all 3 of mine.
Well, you might just be smarter than me. Might be the same person. Okay. I'm going to do Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah,
that's it.
Daniel Kaluuya. It's hard to say because
is it Kaluuya or Kaluuya?
Kaluuya sounds better.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Okay, so I'm doing Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out, from... What's
I actually love that because I was going to do him, but I did someone else from Get Out, funny enough.
I just found out.
I think he plays the right intensity, the quietness, and other things. What's that new movie he's in? Messiah? Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Judas and the Black Messiah. I like him from it.
Do you remember the show Skins?
Yeah.
He's in Skins. And I
don't remember it that well, but I do remember
I only found that out because there's this show Euphoria out right now that like everybody's kind of like, and everyone's comparing it to Skins, so I'd like...
Oh, Skins was like the precursor, like similar thing.
Mm-hmm. It's like the UK version.
He's great in everything he does. And
I did a young Idris Elba.
Okay. I thought about getting him in there somewhere.
Yeah,
sure.
I thought about
did
that too.
I don't know.
That's way better than mine.
He can put on some muscle.
Sure can. Yeah, he's pretty toned.
He's jacked. And Cameron, you went for 6'4", 250 pound,
100 meter sprinter.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I did. Junior. I was gonna do that too. I did Cuba Good. It's really hard to say. Cuba Goodman Jr.
He's on my list, but
I wrote down Cuba Goofin Jr.
Cuba motherfucking Jr.
I'm pretty sure he's in a lot of trouble. Got canceled. Me too.
He's canceled.
But
sorry, my ignorance. I didn't know. What do you do?
There's like
I think a lot. Actually, I think
there's like a paparazzi where he's like in cuffs, but he's like awkwardly grinning, like doesn't look sorry about it at all.
He seems like he was actually a pretty terrible person. But
so I picked Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, so
Cameron's 0 for 2 on these picks right now.
Date wise, though, it makes sense in his
I think there's a casting what if in Unverified.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that was in there.
I don't know who he probably would have been junior, but just since I had Cuba as well, I'm going to do Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh, I was going to do that.
Thought about
I was going to do that.
He might be too goofy for that.
So I thought about that.
He's not timid enough. Maybe.
He plays Carlton from Fresh Prince. I thought that too, but it's in the more kiddie version of this movie.
Okay.
Just because he's a little more goofy, but maybe given the chance, he could have.
I think he actually would have been great because he would have toned down the Carltonness, and it would have been
had to. But have you seen him tone it down since Carlton? Because I sure fucking haven't.
That's true. Well,
he had like the Carlton sweater. Junior did.
No, I thought definitely looks like it's close to there, but because of the timidness, I went. Shit, I gotta get my notes. I want to make sure.
Yeah, Cuba definitely isn't the timid type, but
I went Donald Glover.
Okay, that's great.
I like that.
I see the scenes between him and his dad and everything. He's got that. What's Donald Glover guy? He's kind of got like a timidness to him and like
boyish. It's like it's like a childish, charming kind of thing.
Community. I can see him kind of toning that, toning that down a little bit.
That could be good. Yeah.
And we know because of he can do dramatic too if they needed him to.
What about Senka?
This one could go a lot of ways.
I'll go first.
There were a lot
I think
of
I have a
comedians,
good one if you give it a chance.
Okay.
I think this is of this time, 1993, before he got super famous, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Perfect role.
Yeah,
I'm talking Robin Hood Men in Tights.
It's on my list.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that's actually probably the best one, hands down.
Half-baked.
Yeah.
He would kill it. I did Chris Tucker. I just
Totally thought that.
He's on my list too.
I had someone else, but I didn't write it down.
He'd have to forego any attempt to do a Jamaican accent.
Oh, yeah, that is the problem with a lot of these comedians. I don't think they could do
I
it.
wondered that about Dave Chappelle, but I think he would kill this role.
Yeah, I think he actually could.
I did think about Chris
who's
Tucker.
beeping? Now who's beeping?
I don't even know how that happened.
Guys, can we silence our phones?
I went, I'm torn here. I'm going to do it. Kel Mitchell.
Ooh, like it.
Kel Mitchell with some dreads, maybe.
Chin chin.
I
I think
like
he
that
had
quite a bit.
dreads in his real life, didn't he, for a few years?
That might just be his Good Burger character in a wig.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
Apologies.
Honorable mention, I also put a scary movie too, Marlon Wayne.
I
okay.
100% thought of Marlon Wayne.
Well, just trickle down. He was
Marlon Wayne is my top two, to be honest.
Again, I only think Dave Chappelle could really pull off the accent kind of. I don't know if any of them could, but I feel like Dave
That
Chappelle
might be the winner of this week. I do like that one quite a bit.
I just think it's a role he may have at that time even taken,
Yeah.
Are we ready for Darius?
I assume we're going to have a washed. Everybody has the same one, but
Speaking of
maybe not.
Oh, no.
I went on Jordan's route. I just did it in a different spot.
Yep.
I did Daniel Kaluuya.
I thought
there.
about putting him there as well. He was in my thought process the whole time, so I don't disagree with it. And he's a good leading straight man.
Yeah.
In a lot of movies.
Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.
Yeah, I did the
okay.
same thing.
That's great.
If they made this movie,
This would be perfect for him.
it would have been him. He's played great sports stars in the past. R.I.P. But that would be a great role for him, and he'd do well in it.
Moving on to Irv, the coach. I'm not too happy with this one because we've done it a million times, but it's Jeff Bridges for me.
Okay, I'm happy as shit with mine. That's not bad. Jeff Bridges could.
He would be
Plus,
great
we've seen
at it,
him
but
play
You're
coach.
happy as shit with yours, or then I'm going to go first again. Paul Giamatti.
I get it.
Yeah. I don't see him being an athlete. That's my problem.
You see John Candy.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least he's 6'2" and has size to him. Paul Giamatti's just a short little guy,
Well, we don't
That's
know.
true.
That's
and
true.
they make that John Candy let himself go. He's a gambler or whatever.
But you could
Look
also
at him now.
you could see Paul Giamatti cheating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's where I went. It was kind of
The dark natured thing, right?
no integrity kind of. Yeah, exactly.
So of course I thought about Robin Williams, but I didn't do it. But then I thought about that because I think him and John Candy have so much. But Philip Seymour Hoffman would be perfect for this role.
He's good in almost anything you
I
put
like
him in.
that.
But he's got a lot of similar characters John Candy that I like. They're kind of like there's some sadness to them. They can play a funny everyman, and they got timing and whatever.
I think we almost spoiled maybe the best pick in Robin Williams.
Yeah, who knew? We didn't know. My bad.
And he would have done this movie. That's what I do want to say about John Candy and Robin Williams. They have the ability to be in a kids movie or family friendly movie, but elevate it to a little bit darker.
Agreed.
Even when the rest of the movie's under the sea type shit.
At least have a scene where you look in their eyes and like, oh, there's a lot of heartache there.
Yeah, like it's there.
Are you guys ready for the what ifs? This actually, I'm surprised none of us thought of this for the serious type for Doris. Denzel Washington was up for the role.
I thought about that. Like but like he's
Stoic
Denzel
and,
Washington.
Yeah.
This ain't 1993.
He wasn't then. He wasn't exactly.
He wasn't then.
Yeah, so that could work.
But we now know what he is. I couldn't even see him younger doing that.
For the role of Sanka Coffee. Also, we didn't say this, but trickle down on verified. That is a wink. The main coffee in Jamaica is Sanka Coffee, but they just spelled coffee differently.
Okay.
But not spelled the same.
And you went again, Michael Clark Johnson.
Sure did. For Sanka, Eddie Murphy was up for the role, but turned it down.
I didn't even think of that. That's good.
It's tough. I did think of a couple like more comedians, Eddie Murphy, but he's just too big. It's like, how could you tone him down? He's been big since he was.
I almost like that the only character you do know is Irv. And then the rest are kind of like these Jamaican
up-and-comers, no-namers, I think, add to a lot of movies like this because it doesn't bring on to what you think about the character.
Yep.
That's why horror movies are so fun because you're like, you don't know who they are. You know?
Right. Wesley Snipes was up for Yul Brenner.
That makes sense. That makes a shit ton
I just thought
of
of another one for Yul, Anthony Mackie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
I put him on my list.
Yeah, I get that. He's intense.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody said Michael B. Jordan.
We've used him so many times.
Maybe that's what Cameron meant.
Nah.
Okay.
Now, you were talking about John Coffee.
Yep. Different, like they drink, but not the same. Funny enough, Marlon Wayans was up at his junior. Is that what you wanted him as?
No, for sure, Sanka.
Oh, yeah, no, he was up as junior instead.
I like that one, though. That's good.
Did other Wayne's brother do it? Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You could do the top 3 Wayne's brothers we know.
Yeah. Kubo Gooding Jr. was up for, I think, actually for Junior as well.
That makes sense. We had that.
So was Jeffrey Wright and Eric LaSalle. I don't know that person.
Did they have anybody else for John Candy? Or was he...
No, not that I've seen. Now, this one's also kind of crazy. Tupac Shakur was up for the role of... it doesn't say what he's up for.
He feels like, to me,
Sanka?
not just because he's bald. No, Tupac, feels like Yul Brenner.
That could make sense.
Like
yeah,
100%.
Yul, that'd be good. Unverified, and we should figure out what other what ifs are for Irv, but John Candy took a pay cut to take that role.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's all I had for what if. So if you guys are ready, we're ready to move on to Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Mount Rushmore top 4. This week, our category is actors who we thought were going to have breakout star role. Well, actors who had breakout roles that we thought were going to be stars, but just never quite delivered to our expectations.
Kind of specific, but we're going to,
But
I think there are a lot
when
of
aren't our Mount Rushmore specific? So you should be used to
We're
this.
basing it obviously off of
It's either
Sanka,
Sanka.
actor.
Well, really, all of this cast was kind of unknown, and none of them really exploded into what we thought they might.
No, but did you think a lot of stars were coming from this?
Sanka.
Yeah, okay.
Mark won rock, paper, scissors this week, so you're up first. What's your pick?
All right, I could go a couple different avenues here, but I'm going to go Ralph Macchio.
Okay. Well, I will say this, though. He has come back with the exact same role.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to still keep with him, just because
now because there's reboots and streaming, no one's truly ever dead. And now that you can computer animate people after their death,
no one's
you're never
truly dead.
gone. So you can always have a reboot. But I get it.
I'm interested to see where you guys go, just because that's kind of the avenue that I took with this category. So
okay, I'll go next. So I have a pretty solid. I have a tight little honorable mention, but mine is. And go back to our Scream episode. When I watched Scream, I thought Matthew Lillard was going to have a way bigger career, and he just didn't.
He's on my list. I definitely.
And it's not because I was young. I rewatch it, and I still think that he has star qualities from that movie, and it didn't happen.
Funny enough, I also wrote down
SLC Punk, fucking
Without a Paddle.
No, he's made stuff. I'm not saying he hasn't.
I 100% agree with you.
I just thought he would have gotten a bigger platform after, and it just never happened. I understand it was a teen slasher movie, but he was fucking funny.
Well, funny enough, I also wrote down Jamie Kennedy from Scream. That's not my choice, but he also had a lot of opportunities. They
both had opportunities, and it just didn't work. I guess maybe for whatever reason they're talented. So anyway, yeah, I had Jamie Kennedy as an honorable mention.
I'm between two right now, but I think the one I want to do is That Thing You Do. Tom Everett Scott.
That's a great one.
He might have looked too much like Tom Hanks, but he was so charming in that, and everybody thought he was going to explode. And he does
the
TV.
Next Tom Hanks. He's had a career. That's actually a really good one.
For our honorable mentions, honorable
Let's go around
mentions
the horn
now.
here.
I have one that's really good that it was going to be my choice.
I heard she was just a dick to work with, Katherine Heigl.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, hers is almost more like
She did that to
wasted.
herself.
Yeah, she did that to herself. Yeah.
Yeah, but it sucks because when she's in shit, it's like, oh,
It's fine. Yeah, just likable.
Yeah, I never really liked her. It's just like that. She definitely fizzled out hard.
oh yeah, like yeah. So we already mentioned Jamie Kennedy, and if you listen to the podcast, how big of a star I don't know, but David Krumholtz hasn't gotten the right vehicle, and I stand by it. That guy's got
David Krumholtz, 10 Things I Hate About You, the best friend. He's the elf he's Bernard from the Santa Claus, and he's Jordan's favorite actor.
He's not my favorite actor, but man, doesn't he got it?
Cameron's look-alike at one point in his life.
Kind of. We're Jewish.
Maybe he was born in the wrong time period, but I don't know.
This is honestly a huge one. Lacey Chabert from Mean Girls. The one that kind of looks like Sarah Michelle Gellar.
The Party of Five.
The one that says fetch?
Yep.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was going to have she was funny, and that seemed like she was going to have a bigger career and just hasn't really done anything since then.
Yeah, I think she does
Amanda Seyfried?
Hallmark movies.
Yeah, she has some Hallmark movies now, I think. But
Funny enough, Amanda Seyfried and Rachel McAdams were only the ones really to kind of keep that going.
For real.
That's true.
Lindsay Lohan kind of fell off there. I've got Liv Tyler on here still, Jennifer Grey.
Jennifer Grey.
Don't
Dirty.
put baby in a corner.
After she got the plastic surgery,
yeah,
she
yeah.
changed her look completely, and that didn't help. People just didn't know who she was anymore.
I've got a weird one for you, and
Liv Tyler kinda did
I
that
thought
too.
about this a little bit for the category. I'm not saying that they didn't reach their potential, because I think who I'm about to say is pretty famous in their time, but it seems like they were either going to go into more acting or have a longer stay. Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's one of those people, though, that, like, Jesus, I'm so sorry. I'm just popping. It's my computer.
It feels so good not to be
It's my computer is what's happening. Fuck.
That's what it was for me. Yeah.
The truth is, I have my phone on loud every episode, and nobody calls me.
I'm going to say something a little surprising because she was a big actress and had hits, but Alicia Silverstone did just disappear.
Oh!
Kind of right after 10 Things.
Not 10 Things.
What am I
Blast from the Past, maybe?
Blast from the
That was kind of
Is she
later.
in 10 Things, though?
No, you're thinking Julie Stiles. She chose to leave
Sister,
acting.
Oh, the Alex Mack chick?
Yeah,
Oh,
Alex Mack. Sorry, I'm thinking of her.
I forget her name.
Do you want to hear a weird thing then? And this spawned me because they were both in Batman movies. Chris O'Donnell dropped from the planet. He was in it.
He was
too.
huge, yeah. Well,
He had his chance, I guess.
He's still just been doing TV. He's on
No,
the
no,
cop
yeah,
show
like,
now.
he's for
but-
sure.
Larissa
acting.
Olenek. Damn. Yeah, that's who I got her mixed up with. Sorry.
I got a big one for you, but this is 100% talent based, and a lot of these are like you have your Anakin Skywalkers, like both of them are actually kind of
Sure.
cursed.
I mean,
but
they're-
Taylor Lautner, he was a huge star, huge heartthrob, but completely disappeared after like his second movie just because
Awful
yeah, he's a really bad actor.
Taylor Swift wrote a song about him, and he's just cooked after that.
Was that it? I'll tell you one thing though, for a 16-year-old, he was maybe the best at getting jacked without supplements. He probably had supplements.
He definitely used supplements and training.
There's a lot of kid actors you could say, like
Sure.
like Daniel Radcliffe.
You know what though? He's
But
still
once
doing,
you have like 7 movies, 8 movies, how do you say?
I'll
you
actually
fell
say
off?
bullshit.
Like,
Daniel
That's true.
Radcliffe still has Miracle Workers and is actually pretty funny. I would say maybe
Oh, what-
Rupert Grant more, but he's still doing stuff too.
Plus, you gotta
what's that one?
They're unique where they made a fuck ton of money.
One
Like, they
Daniel
don't-
Radcliffe movie that I came home when you were watting it.
What If?
He's like killing. He's got guns.
Oh, yeah. it's
Guns
like
Akimbo. He's also in not Horns. He's in Swiss Army Man.
I'll take that back.
He did some artsy
he's had
things.
a fun I mean,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
that
never
makes
made
more
the
sense.
leap. Just didn't.
Any of the Lawrences. But thanks for listening to our take on Cool Runnings. As always, if you liked our take on the movie, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We are just a small grassroots podcast, so of course, we only grow through your kind recommendations. So if you like the show, if you think other people would like our movie club, make sure you let them know about it. You can find us at Cold Classics Pod on social media, and you can write in your movie request to coldclassicspodcast@gmail.com.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. 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 I don't know how you...